that's pretty much all you have to figure out. If you want to just be for cool stuff or be able to use it without maybe even thinking about it, you really only have 3 choices, and that's based on what you want it to do. Little pancakey, dude. I really don't. Hey guys, my name is Chris Darafiv and you're watching FlyRyde, where you're going to learn more about the parts, techniques, and the business of building custom lights. And today we're going to talk about the 3 different types of angel eyes. This is actually going to be really fun. I'm excited about this. FlyRyde used to be called Halos.biz back in the day, 2003. I would sit in my parents' garage and I would tinker around and I would make these things, and I learned how to do it pretty well. I was installing them on as many cars as I could get my hands on, and I even did a Supra back in the day, Mark IV Supra. Alright, anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to talk about all the different types of angel eyes that are available now, just some of the differences, and show them all off, and just pack in a video about lots of different angel eye stuff. So this is the angel eye video.
You've got to beg just to get in line. The fights, the lies. I just tried to be good. You've got to break to get out of the woods.
The first thing I want to talk about when it comes to angel eyes is how many different types there are and the difference between one brand versus the other. When it comes to brightness, they're all so bright now, it's ridiculous. Back in the day, totally did not used to be the case. Matter of fact, I have some old school angel eyes that were actually considered like the good ones. Like I used those for a couple of different years where we were doing nothing but angel eye installs using those parts from Korea. So we used those a good minute before a lot of the other US brands started coming out with their latest and greatest products that honestly are just the best in the game. There are a couple US companies that sell some junk, and those are known to go out for sure. We're not even going to talk about it. But yeah, if you don't hear their name, you might assume it's one of those guys. Anyway, let's continue. So a good question to ask yourself before you decide what kind of angel eyes you want is, what do you want them to do? Is it just going to be some cool show-off thing? Do you want it to add function to the vehicle while it's on the road? I mean, that's pretty much all you have to figure out. If you want to just be for cool stuff or be able to use it without maybe even thinking about it, you really only have 3 choices, and that's based on what you want it to do. You have color changing, switchback, single color. That's it. It's pretty much all you got to figure out is, do you want them to be able to change blue and green and like illegal colors for the street? Do you want them to be always street functional and never get you into trouble? Or do you need them for something very specific, like for taillights where they need to be red, but you don't have any need for green and blue, so RGB is out of the question? Things to figure out. If you want them to be color changing, I think a huge problem with the older style angel eyes is that they have all the individual little chips. You get like a little dot in a circle, a bunch of dots. Now you've got these coated LEDs where they have something that kind of diffuses it. And on the video, this looks absolutely perfectly consistent. In real life, I can see the individual chips, but they're so bright, it's really hard to look at anyway. So let me just show you what the packaging looks like. This is from our friends at Profile, and they are putting out an amazing product line called Prism. So that is what it looks like when it's coming out of the box. And so you can see it's got nice coating on the front, so you don't see a bunch of individual chips. Wires are soldered nice to the back, and they have a little coating over them. It's pretty important stuff that these things are, I don't know, that they're just tidy. You don't want to have anything that looks like some kid in the back of a giant, I don't know, makeshift building, soldered it, and I don't know. Let's not talk about that kid. One other key feature to talk about when it comes to color changing is you can have it on a remote control. So you just have a remote, you push a button, changes that color, or you can pan through different custom modes. You don't really have any option of specifying which one of those bonus modes. You can just pan through them. I really don't recommend that anymore. There's just so many good Bluetooth units out. There's 2 that I like the most. This is my top dog favorite, XK Chrome. Basically because I can save the preset options. So as soon as it turns on power, it will go back to whatever I told it to do. Pink. Check that out. I knew it was going to be pink because I saved it to be pink. You know what I'm saying? That is your color changing. You also have the option to do RGB where you can see the individual chips, but that's going away. So by the time you're watching this, if this isn't something like you're watching this right after I post it up, it probably won't even exist anymore. It's just old school. No reason to talk about the old school stuff if what's new is cheaper and better, right? Okay, let's continue. Let's talk about Switchback. So sometimes I have to explain this still. It's not so often anymore that I do. Can you tell that's bright? It's pretty damn bright. Here's the thing, this does two different colors. You can't really tell. Let me just disconnect it really quick. I'll show you what it looks like up close where it's not blinding. But this ring has little chips inside of it. You can't really tell that there's any two sets of LEDs or anything like that in there. But each LED does two different colors and it's ungodly bright. And the two colors are white, and it also changes amber with the turn signal. And so the thought behind Switchback is that it's going to be white, and then when you hit the turn signal, it will flash amber and it'll switch back to white, like the little hand move. Switch back. So that's what a Switchback is. It's two colors, but it doesn't do green, blue, red, anything like that. It's just made to be white and amber, and it's really, really bright. And the idea, for the most part, is that you jump in, you go, it's wired up to your running lights, or it's wired up to your DRL, or to your low beam if you want. There's some of them where they can get dimmer when you hit the low beam. When the low beam comes on the car, it will actually produce less light so that it's not blindingly bright. All right, this is our last type of ring. It's basically going to be used for something that you just want it to come on and do its thing, maybe increase brightness, decrease brightness, something like that, such as a tail light ring, or if you want it to be an angel eye, you don't want it to turn amber, you just want it to be white, just do one thing. It's honestly the most rare. Now everything has the ability to do multiple functions now, even the animated spinning, color changing, stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of different options when it comes to angel eyes. The most popular ones are these ones here, and of those popular ones, I'd say this is probably the least popular anymore, and it used to be the only option. So, single color. I use these inside of taillights, and it's pretty cool because even though that looks really bright right now, what you don't know is that there's actually a completely different mode, so that if you were to step on the brakes, it's a lot brighter. And then it still isn't blindingly bright as a running light. What you don't want to do is have a running light that's that bright and it's always in people's faces, right? And this is really crazy. Let me hook this thing up so it stays that way. This particular ring from Diode Dynamics, it's got regular mode or running light mode. It's got bright mode like brake lights, and then it's got ungodly bright mode. That's a wire that if it stays connected, it's gonna fry the ring. But look at that. Ooh, that is wild. It's so bright that it like kicked off the other one for a second. Woo! So if this was your turn signal, you could have it hooked up to where you've got running light hooked up, and then let's say you step on the brakes, and then while you're stepping on the brakes, you get your turn signal, you're gonna get that. And then your brakes come back on because you never took your foot off the brake pedal, right? So there you have it. That's actually another ring that has a really good coating on it. So you can see it just looks completely white. It's got the little mounting tabs, which make a huge difference when you're installing these rings. We'll do an Angel Eye install video where I put them into a set of headlights and show you how I actually mount them, drill the holes, all that. But for now, that's your 3 different types of angel eyes and why you would use them. So I think we covered everything. We got our color changing that are gonna be for show. We've got Switchback, which is your main kind of cruising down the street. You don't really wanna mess with anything. It's all pre-wired. Ooh, good side note for Switchback. You can build the lights to be 100% plug and play since the wiring is all supplied inside of the headlight. Most headlights anyway. RGB cannot be plug and play. It has to have a wire harness ran to it because you've got different wires that aren't found anywhere else in the car. And then lastly, you can also have plug and play for single color, obviously, if you just have it hooked up to the running light, or if you have it hooked up to tail lights and have running light, brake light, turn signal, all of that is and should be inside of the actual tails, so it could be plug and play as well. I hope all of that made sense, and I hope it helped. And I hope you guys join me for more of these videos as we dive into the LED strips, which is coming up next. So I totally forgot to show you guys these. This is actually what is under that coating. See all those LEDs in there? And they're packed super tight together. So that's why they're so bright, and they look like they're all just solid all the way around. The gap between each LED is so small and the LEDs are so bright, you can't really tell that there's dots in there, even though there really are. This is actually not super old school, but kind of old school. These were dope back in the day. Everybody loved these things, but they're super ricer because they're like a 7000K white. So let me hook them up. I'll show you what they look like. And this is also what I used to call Switchback version 1. Not even version 2, version 1. Check out that ricer light. Ooh, that looks dope, right? Right? It's a problem with cameras and stuff. You think that looks good? Nah, it doesn't though. Look at that. All right, camera time. That's what that looks like. That even that's not even justice. Like, that still looks better than it actually is in real life. Here's the thing that, oh, you can kind of see the purplish blue tint to it. See that? Switchback, but there's no pause. So it always just flip-flops. No one likes a little flip-flopping 7000K dotted angel eye from 2010. Nobody. All right, what'd you guys think? I didn't go over certain things like the little spinning, color-changing unicorn stuff. I don't know. We'll maybe do it one day. I also actually left out the switchback function when I was showing you guys the white to amber switchback ring. So I had to sub in that Evo 9 that we built over the summer. So whatever, I did my best. I tried to throw together a bunch of the main functions and just the uses for angel eyes. So if there's any questions, things I didn't cover, because I'm sure there's a few things, let me know. Comment below, like, and please, if you want to keep seeing these videos, subscribe. Show me that this is like valuable in any way to you guys, and I'll keep them coming. All right, thank you guys so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.